Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over the new controller shotgun meta in Fortnite Season 5. In case you haven't really been paying too much attention to the new season, we actually got one of the biggest shakeups to the shotgun weapon pool in recent memory. One shotgun was vaulted, two shotguns were unvaulted, a brand new shotgun was added to the game for the first time ever, and there were also some balance and drop rate adjustments done as well. So what we have now is a shotgun meta that looks totally different than it did even just a few days ago, and this is leaving a lot of people wondering which shotguns they should use and which ones they should more so avoid. So hopefully this video will be able to clear all that up for you guys, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so let's start off by just going over the meaningful changes with everything regarding shotguns in Season 5. First off, as I'm sure the majority of you guys are already aware of by now, the pump shotgun was vaulted. I don't want to go in too much of a tangent about this, but I really can't say enough how bad of a move I think this is. Of course, this isn't the first or even second time the pump has been vaulted. Back during the summer of 2019, which I believe was Season 9, they did the exact same thing, and it was legitimately one of the most criticized decisions in Fortnite history. Then they decided to do it again at the beginning of Chapter 2 Season 3 to make way for the charge. And both times they got a ton of hate, and I really do think it got to them, because usually when they vault a weapon, they keep it out of the game for like 2 full seasons at least. But the first time they vaulted the pump, they unvaulted it like 3 updates later in the same season, and then the second time they unvaulted it at the beginning of the next season. So if you want to be positive, it seems like they have a history of making sure its time in the vault is relatively short, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't really make sense to me why they would even vault it in the first place. It's probably the single most iconic weapon in all of Fortnite. Pretty much everybody loves using it. Nobody really thinks it's overpowered. It just feels like one of those situations where they made this change just for the sake of change and not because they thought it would make the game better. And it's a shame because I really do like a lot of the things they've done in Season 5 so far, but it just seems like they're all being overshadowed by the pump being removed, and I totally understand why. So that was the vaulted shotgun, and now let's focus on the new shotguns. The first and most important unvault was the tack shotgun, and the second unvault is a bit of a weird one. Technically, the double barrel shotgun was unvaulted, but it's one of the exotic rarity weapons this season, and what that means is you can only acquire it by buying it from a weapon dealer, and the guy who sells the double barrel is right next to Stealthy Stronghold, which is northwest of Pleasant Park, and apparently it is a really cool weapon because obviously it's still a shotgun, but it also has the knockback effect like the flint-knock pistol used to have, if you remember that. However, I won't really be talking about it much at all in this video because the vast majority of players are barely ever going to use it in-game. And the totally brand new shotgun to Fortnite is the Dragon Breath shotgun. So this is easily one of the most unique shotguns ever added to Fortnite. It's similar to the double barrel in a few ways actually. It comes in purple and gold rarity, it has really high damage with 152 and 160 base damage, really low range although it was literally just slightly buffed, super slow reload time at just over 4 seconds, and even though it shows a magazine size of 4, it's actually really 1 because it uses all 4 shells each time you fire. The unique thing about it is that, as the name Dragon's Breath kinda suggests, when you shoot it has a similar mechanic to the Firefly Jar if you've ever used that. It basically sets any enemy or structure that you hit on fire. So thus far, I have pretty mixed feelings about this shotgun as a whole. Before the buff yesterday, it was absolute trash for 3 main reasons. First off, for you to deal significant damage with it, you literally had to be right in the enemy's face. Second, and probably the biggest problem that's still around, is the one-shot magazine size combined with the 4-second reload time. What any half-decent player is going to do if they hear you shoot the Dragon's Breath is they're going to immediately apply constant pressure to you. They know you need 4 seconds to reload, so as long as they don't let you get alone for that long, you're not gonna have a shotgun for the rest of the fight. And third, as cool as the fire mechanic is, that fire also damages you. So if you shoot at an enemy inside a 1x1, now the floor and all the walls are probably on fire, so your screen's gonna be going crazy and you're gonna take a decent amount of damage. However, the base damage is so good at point blank range that I now believe it is viable if you're really good at getting into point blank range fights. I personally think I'm mainly going to stick to the tack and charge because they just have a lot more versatility, but I'm definitely a lot higher on this weapon now than I was before it got that significant buff. So speaking of the charge and the tack, it's important to note here that both of those weapons also got a pretty considerable buff at the beginning of Season 5. Starting with the tack, each rarity is about 5 to 7% stronger now based on pure damage numbers, and along with that, every rarity of the tack also got a slight damage range boost as well. Also, again, literally as I was making this video, the charges also got a buff. On every rarity, the magazine size was increased by 1 shell, the reload time was sped up, and it got a damage boost of 5%, which is almost exactly the same as the tacks. On top of all of that, there was a slight drop rate hotfix done to both shotguns a few hours after the season dropped. The gray rarity charge was vaulted because it was dropping way too frequently, and also all rarities of the tack had their drop rate increased. So even though I do think the Dragon's Breath can be very strong situationally, like I said, due to its lack of versatility and also its rarity, the core of this shotgun meta is still going to be tack versus charge. Both are definitely viable options, and you can't really 100% definitively say that one is better than the other. However, I really believe it's as simple as this. In general, the charge shotgun after the buff is probably better than the tack just statistically and overall. The damage is more consistent, the range is a lot better, and now that it has a bigger clip size and faster reload, that's less of an issue than it was in the past. But that doesn't mean that the charge is going to be the best option for everybody. The tack has 2 main positives that I think is still going to make a lot of players choose it as their main option. First off, it's simply a better fit for the spray and barrel stuff playstyle that Controller thrives on. Second, it's also a regular shotgun that doesn't have the charge mechanic, which is obviously unique to the charge. Even though it's been in the game for like 3 seasons now, there are players out there that still just absolutely despise needing to charge their shots. So like I said, it's not like you won't be able to get a kill if you use either option, but here's what I expect shotgun usage will look like among the top players. I think that mouse and keyboard players will overwhelmingly favor the charge, while controller players on the other hand will be much closer to 50-50 or so, and there will definitely be a small portion of players that get really good with the Dragon's Breath as well. Also, of course, rarity definitely plays a factor here that you want to consider. I don't think even the biggest charge hater in the world would take a white tack over a purple charge. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you watched the entire thing, be sure to let me know with a comment down in the comment section below. So far, what is your favorite shotgun to use in Fortnite Season 5? Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.